Planet Vero Studio is powered by the Nolan Group of eXp Realty. She is a beauty influencer from New York City who commands attention.
He is a lawyer born and raised in Florida who lays down the law.
And together they are
The Lady and the Law.
Here are your hosts of The Lady and the Law, Cindy Grossman and Mitchell Goldman.
Hello to you both. I want to wish you all and wish our listeners a Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, great holiday season. So, guess what we're going to talk about today, Cindy?
Something legal.
Something legal. How did you know? Well, I know you've been begging to hear this topic. So the topic today is real estate title insurance.
It's a good one. People don't realize how important it is to have that.
It is. Title insurance is very important. And we're going to talk about what title insurance is, what title insurance isn't, why you need title insurance. And, these kind of topics are important, I think. So title insurance is wholly different than when you think about insurance. So Jesse, if you get life insurance, you pay a one-time premium, and you get insurance for, whatever it is, or you pay the premium monthly or you pay annually. It continues. And if it's a term policy, it's over a set number of years, or a whole life policy, it just depends. You get insurance on your house. Right. It's a recurring expense you pay annually, and those premiums always seem to go up. You get insurance on your car, same kind of thing, your boat. You got a big RV, Jesse, you got those kind of expenses.
Maybe in my future, maybe.
Maybe so. We never know. We hope. So that's what your typical insurance is. And you understand the risk. You have a hurricane, flood. Hopefully you have coverage for those for your house. That's what your standard insurance is, life insurance. You die, not a bet you want to win, but whoever your beneficiary is, they're getting money.
Yeah.
Of course. Well, title insurance is different. Title insurance is a one-time premium. So you pay it once, typically when you buy the house or when you refinance the mortgage on your house. You pay that premium, and it insures, it guarantees either you as the owner or the lender, the bank or the credit union or whoever the lender is, that they have a valid first lien, or if it's a second mortgage, a second lien on your property. Now, Cindy, why is that important?
You want to make sure that the previous owner doesn't still have a lien, or you want to just have all the information on, anything that happened previously.
Exactly. And your lender wants the same kind of assurance, because if the lender doesn't have assurance that it has a valid first lien on the property, then it's not going to make the loan to you, and you're not going to be able to refinance your mortgage. You're not going to be able to buy the house. You're not going to be able to sell the house. So especially in Florida, buying and selling and mortgaging property is very, very important for commerce. And unless there are title policies that insure you as the buyer or insure the lender, an owner's policy or a lender's policy, these real estate transactions aren't going to happen. So if we don't have real estate in Florida, Jesse, we don't have a state.
That's it. Yeah.
That's right.
That's the backbone of the state right now. Yeah.
Exactly. It historically, it's always seems that way, and people are moving to the state. So we have to have, clear title. It's called clear title, and title insurance. Well, it sounds simple, but what are some of the things that I experience in my practice that I see every day that a title policy insures against? So what are some of the risks? So I want to give you some stories and some real life examples as to what I see. So these are pretty typical. So claims by missing heirs or ex-spouses that they own the property and that they have an interest in the property. Well, I have one right now. I didn't close it, but I represent the lender. And after we closed, the former wife said she has an interest in this property.
Oh.
She hasn't filed suit, but if a lawsuit's filed and she tries to set aside the sale or question the validity of the lien, the title company has been advised and they're responsible for defending the action if she files a lawsuit. So we wouldn't have made the loan if, she had filed a suit before, but now the title company has the undertaking to insure us if there's a legal issue that arises. So that's one example.
Well, was her name on the deed when it was sold? I mean, it seems to me that it would be pretty cut and dry.
No, but she says that the property settlement agreement, the divorce agreement, gave her a right to receive certain monies that she didn't receive. So it's not just being on the deed. It gets complicated.
It certainly sounds. Wow.
A very common mistake is an incorrect legal description in prior deeds. So I know you don't sit around like real estate attorneys do and read legal descriptions all day long. It's very easy to make an inadvertent mistake in a legal description. Instead of like lot 5 block B, it gets typed lot 6 block B.
Wow.
Or if it's a long legal description called a meets and bounds legal description, the southwest quarter of the northeast quarter of the south 15 feet. It's very easy to transpose numbers or to miss a call when you type, and that creates a problem. Things are missed. You proofread, you have hopefully other surveys, but mistakes happen. And the title company is responsible for clearing up those mistakes if the property is insured by the title company. So, and hopefully the title company catches the mistake ahead of time so the mistake isn't repeated, so title remains clean, but we're all human and these mistakes happen, and that's why there's title policies. This is very common. Missing satisfactions of mortgages. So you close on the sale of your house or the refinancing of your house, and the prior lender that represented the previous owner is that mortgage is paid off. Well, what happens if they're supposed to file what's called a satisfaction of mortgage to pay off that mortgage? But, it doesn't always happen. It's missed quite often, not intentionally, but there's a big volume, people miss the satisfactions. What happens then? Well, then it's on the title company that handle the closing to clean that situation up. But, if nobody undertakes it, it's a problem and you can't close because it looks like there's a mortgage on the property that's still open and unsatisfied. Not a good feeling. Judgments. People get judgments against them. Fortunately, most of the time my experience is that there are people maybe that have similar names, first names and last names, and hopefully it's not the same person. But I have one situation where the judgment is definitely against the borrower because the address of the house that we're refinancing is on the judgment. So there's no question. Well, we're not closing our loan until we either we have to deal with this judgment, pay it off, settle the judgment. There are some other things she may be able to do, but this is a problem, and this is a matter that title insurance would insure against, like if she wanted to sell the house, you know, and somebody was going to buy it. Here, the lender was going to loan her money, but they're not going to be able to until it gets resolved. That's the benefit of title insurance. Delinquent property taxes or condo fees. You know, if there's a closing and taxes are due or condo fees are due or special assessments are owed, then the title company needs to collect all that information and charge the seller at closing and prorate those items. If they're missed, then the title company is responsible for, you know, making it right by the buyer and collecting the information ahead of time, so hopefully it's not missed. Sometimes there's a lack of legal access. You know, properties are landlocked and there's no legal access, so the title company will tell you that there's no legal access. Do you really want to buy this property? Maybe you do. You have adjoining property, maybe you don't. So we'll come back in a few minutes. I'll talk about some other matters and talk about the expense of title insurance and, again, why you need it.
The law offices of Goldman, Monahan, Tucker, and Bettine is here to help you with your personal legal challenges, business needs, and real estate matters. Since 1984, we have assisted countless numbers of Florida individuals and businesses with their legal issues. From trusts and estates, wills, real estate, and civil or criminal litigation, we pride ourselves on maintaining lifelong client relationships and would appreciate the opportunity to assist you and your family as well. Please call 321-639-1320 for further information on the law offices of Goldman, Monahan, Tucker, and Bettine. I'm an attorney spokesman.
Right now at Sunshine Furniture, it's holiday sale time. They are clearing out their warehouses to make room for new furniture styles, and this means you can save on selected styles from Lloyd Flanders, Beechcraft, Windward, Riverside, Universal, Caprice, Four Seasons, and more. Sofas, dining sets, patio groups, occasional chairs, cabinets, bedroom sets, and occasional tables. There are lots of pieces on sale from inside and out, just in time to make Santa say ho ho ho. Sunshine Furniture has the largest selection of coastal furniture anywhere, including a gallery of Tommy Bahama Home and a Universal Coastal Living collections. Visit Sunshine Furniture now for their holiday sale. And right now, all pictures, lamps, and accessories are half price. Sunshine Furniture, $12.95 US 1 in Vero Beach. Online at sunshinefurniturecasual.com. And don't forget to shop their outlet and sell store just across the street.
Sunshine Furniture.
At Compass Pest Control, we focus on killing pests where they live and breed by terminating them outside your home or office before they can get in. Hi, I'm Chris Hudman, co-owner of Compass Pest Control. We prevent roaches, ants, and other pests from getting inside with a proactive approach. We don't stop there. We also offer lawn and plant health programs. And we'll never sell you something you don't need. At Compass Pest Control, our prices are competitive. Your satisfaction is guaranteed. Get a free estimate. Visit compasspests.com.
It's time to call Easy Brew Coffee and Bottled Water Service and learn just how much you can save and how convenient it is to have your coffee and bottled water delivered right to your home or office. In addition to water coolers, Easy Brew offers individual bottles of water in 8 or 16-ounce bottles. No more lugging it home or dragging it into the office. Serving the Treasure Coast for over 2 decades, 2 letters, 1 simple name. Easy for Easy Brew. Visit e-zbrew.com or call 800-792-3285. Easy Brew.
Need an enlightening pick-me-up? Visit Kristen and Cindy at Skinergy to energize your skin and keep it looking fabulous forever. Kristen can help with hair removal, sugaring to keep your whole body smooth and conditioned. Kristen will help you refresh and defend your skin while giving you a customized facial. Cindy helps skinergize and get you camera ready for your everyday look or special occasion. Visit Kristen and Cindy at Skinergy. Find them on Facebook under the Skinergy Squad.
And we're back, Cindy, talking about real estate title insurance. And I just have a few other examples about why you need title insurance and some of the risks if you didn't have title insurance that you would have to undertake. One of the probably the biggest risk of all, I don't see it very often in my practice. I can't recall ever seeing it, but it's a real problem for the title companies, the title underwriters, forgery. In South Florida, the big losses with people going to a title company and forging the name of somebody else. Maybe they have the same name and they purport to be someone, but they sign their name, but it's not really that person. It's somebody else with the same name, and they get a loan or they purport to sell property. It's a real problem, especially in South Florida. So that's something. And then survey matters. I've had cases where we found out that there's an easement that the survey discloses running right through the middle of a house. Or, a very common thing is sometimes pools are built over an easement.
Oh.
Not just the deck, but the actual pool is built within an easement in the rear of your house.
Oh.
So what do you do in that situation? That's why a survey is important. But these are all matters that a title policy helps protect you from and insures you in the event that a problem comes up later. There are other situations, but these are pretty typical problems that we see. So given all that, do you have to buy title insurance in Florida?
Well, it sounds like you have to have it if you're going to take out a mortgage from a lender.
Exactly. So a lender is going to require title insurance. You're absolutely right, because very often a lender will sell the mortgage and, or bundle these mortgages up, and for purposes of securitizing it, they have to have title insurance. And all states except Iowa have some form of title insurance. The title insurance is a little different in every state. The charges are different in every state, but they have title insurance, and Florida is no exception. And my conversation with you all today is just about Florida. But if you're buying property, interestingly enough, you don't have to have title insurance. I can't imagine, certainly no client that I would represent, would I ever tell them not to get title insurance, even if you're buying a property from a family member and the family member has every good intention of passing good title to you. If you're paying the family member for the house, or you're assuming any debt, you have to get title insurance, because even though that family member, again, has no ill will or bad intentions, they don't always know. There could have been a bad deed, a bad legal description from when they inherited the house, and it only comes up because you're getting title insurance now. So again, title insurance, you have to have it if you're getting a loan, but I also think you need it, and I strongly recommend it if you're the buyer, under any circumstance. Even if somebody's giving you something, get title insurance just to make sure the legal description is correct. It's incumbent upon you. You want to make sure you have good title. It's worth it. Now, is title insurance inexpensive in Florida? Remember, title insurance in Florida is a one-time cost. So if you're buying a home for, say, $100,000, I know that's very low these days, then you're going to pay, or the seller's going to pay, depends, a one-time premium to insure you as the buyer for $100,000. The cost is $575. Based upon rates in some states, Florida has very high title premium rates. These rates are set by the state of Florida, They really haven't changed much since I've practiced over these past long time, 36 years now. But they really haven't changed. A lot of things have gone up. Title rates really haven't. Pretty much the same. So that premium, again, it's a one-time premium, but unlike some other things, it doesn't adjust with inflation. So if 20 years ago your house was $100,000 and you got a premium to insure you for $100,000, today your house is worth $400,000. Your title insurance is only going to insure you for $100,000. If a problem comes along before the time you bought the house unexpectedly, you're only insured up to $100,000.
Is there a way to update that?
There is, but you would have to buy a new title policy, a new owner's policy, and pay that new premium and get a new search. Most people don't do that. Some states have, you have the ability to get a rider or an endorsement that actually increases with the rate of inflation or based on some percentage or some figure. It's not the case in Florida. I don't quite know how that works in other states, but it's not available in Florida. So
you would think something like that would be available.
Good question, especially with the increase in the home ownership and the prices that we saw.
Right.
But that's based upon, the state law. So that would make it something that the state regulators would have to look into and change, because insurance is regulated largely by the states, not by the federal government, and it's different from state to state. So, but it's a very good question. And, I'll ask my agent next time I see them if there's any move
Sure.
to change that.
So. Yeah. So it's always the buyer who's responsible for the title insurance.
Well, it depends. Typically, the seller pays for the owner's title policy at closing.
Okay.
It's always negotiable, but in most counties in Florida, that's a seller cost. And then the buyer pays for the lender's policy. It's a lot less because it's done at the same time as the owner's policy, so they get a break on that. But it's typically a seller expense. So have I answered all your exciting questions, Jesse, that you had?
I've got a question, actually. Yeah.
Go ahead.
So you said you've seen instances where the easement runs through the house.
Right.
What happens? How do you take care of something like that?
Well, you're not buying the house, that's for sure.
Okay.
And what you have to do if you wanted to sell the house is you have to go back to the party that has the benefit of that easement and try to get it vacated. So maybe there's a utility, hopefully it's a utility easement that maybe it wasn't abandoned properly, so electrical lines aren't running underneath your house, but you have to try to work with that. Sometimes if, like with a pool, it's an easement for the benefit of a municipality, so they'll give you a variance, or maybe they'll actually modify the easement itself to reduce the size so your pool isn't in the actual easement. But it takes time, and you may not want to buy the house because of it. So
this sounds like this is another topic for another show, but I know, can you sell the easement? So if the easement is on your property, can you buy the easement from the other property owner? But like I said, we're running out of time, and that's definitely a lot for another show.
Okay, well, thank you for the questions, and thank you for the comments. And if you have title questions, give me a call. I love to talk title.
Where can they reach you?
321-639-1320, extension 104.
Sounds good.